Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will cover one of the most frequently asked questions by Facebook and Microsoft. Please watch the whole video as I have also discussed the follow-up of this question in great detail, which you are most likely to get if you get this question in your interviews. So now let's discuss what the problem statement says. Given a string containing the characters, determine if the input string is valid. An input string is valid if open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets, open brackets must be closed in the correct order. Fine, so we are given the function and we have to return back a boolean value, that is whether the string is valid or not valid. So now let's try to figure out our intuition from the example test cases given in the question. So now let's try to understand the question by taking some examples on the whiteboard. Now let's take the example number 2 and try to figure out the approach. When we iterate over this string, we must remember the condition given in the question, that is open bracket must be closed by the same type of brackets and open bracket must be closed in the correct order. When we first see this problem, we think that since there are three types of bracket, round one, square one and curly bracket, so if we come across any of these open brackets, increment that bracket count, and if we come across the closing bracket, decrement that bracket count. And finally, after iterating over the whole string and ultimately check the condition whether all the three bracket counts are 0 or not. If it is 0, then return true, if not, return false. But if we do more analysis, we get to know that this approach would work only for the few test cases, just like it is working in the example number 2 that we have taken. That is, the effective count of curly bracket is 0, square bracket is 0 and round bracket is 0. So our answer, that is the string is valid, is true in this case. But if we try to follow this approach in example number 4, then the round bracket count is 0, square bracket count is 0. So our answer should be true, but it is not. It is not following the conditions given in the question. So we should take care that we are not blindly follow this approach. Now let's think of another approach. So by our previous approach, we came to the conclusion that maintaining the count of brackets is not enough. The order of the brackets matters. So we should also check the order of the brackets in order to check the validity of the string. So the idea is for the last opening character, we must see its corresponding first closing character. That is, if the last opening character is curly brace, then we must see its corresponding closing curly brace as the first closing character. We can figure out that we can use stack in order to solve this question and to keep the track of the brackets. If we see an opening bracket, then we will push it into the stack, and whenever we encounter a closing bracket, we look into the stack and check whether the closing bracket has its corresponding opening bracket on the top of the stack. While traversing the whole string, if this condition fails any time, we will eventually return false value, but if we have traversed the whole string and stack is empty, it means our string is valid. Now let's move to the code part. Here I have made the stack of characters and now I will iterate over the whole string through for each loop. If I encounter the opening bracket, I will push them into the stack. Let me code a little bit, then I will explain you what I am doing. Now we will push the bracket into the stack. Else, if we have encountered the closing bracket, we would make the certain checks. When we peek into the stack, we should get the corresponding opening bracket. If we get the corresponding opening bracket, we will pop it. Since the part in the else if would be same, so I am just copy pasting the code, as the code would get changed only a little bit. So what we are basically doing is that we are iterating over the whole string, and whenever we encounter the opening bracket, we will push into the stack, and whenever we encounter the closing bracket, we check that whether our stack is empty or not. If it is empty, we will return the false value directly, and if it is not empty, we check that the closing bracket that we have encountered should have its corresponding opening bracket on the top of the stack. And at last, when we have traversed the string, we check that whether our stack is empty or not. If it is empty, we would return the true value, and that's it. So now let's try to run over the test cases. Yeah, it works. Now let's try to submit the code. Yeah, it works. Fine. So now let's discuss the time complexity of our program. Since we are iterating over the string only once, so the time complexity is big O of n, and since we are using the stack, the space complexity is big O of n. Now let's move to the follow-up question of the same question that we have done. Now let's read the problem description first. Given a string containing only of the three types of character, open bracket, close bracket, and star, write a function to check whether this string is valid or not. We define the validity of a string by these rules. Any left parenthesis must have a corresponding right parenthesis. Any right parenthesis must have a corresponding left parenthesis. Left parenthesis must go before the corresponding right parenthesis. The star could be treated as a single right parenthesis or single left parenthesis or an empty string. And at last, empty string is also a valid string. So now let's try to understand this follow-up question by taking some examples. Now let's discuss some example test cases. Let's take example number 1. In this example, this parenthesis and this parenthesis can balance themselves. But if we convert this star into the open bracket like this, then it can balance this parenthesis. So overall the whole string could be balanced. But if we come to the example number 2, and since on the first character of the string we have close bracket, so since we know that for a string to be valid we should have an open bracket before close bracket, so we cannot balance this string. Let's come to the example number 3. In this example, if we convert this star into the open bracket, then this can balance this both the close bracket, so we can return the true, that is we can balance our string. Now let's come to the example number 4. This parenthesis and this parenthesis are balancing themselves, so if we convert only one star into the open parenthesis, then our string could be valid, and considering the rest of the star as an empty string, so we return true. Let's take an example where the star is acting as the close bracket. So in this example, if we want to balance the string, we have to make our star as the close bracket. So the resulting string would be balanced. Fine. So we come to the conclusion that the position of the brackets are at most important, and the star plays its very important role in the balancing of the string, as at some times it can work as an open parenthesis and at some time it can work as a close parenthesis. As we have just completed with valid parenthesis question where we have used one stack, but in this follow-up question you cannot use only one stack, as a single stack keeps tracks of only opening bracket. And whenever you come across the closing bracket, you can just pop out the element from the stack. Since in this question we have stars also, which can act as a closing bracket or opening bracket or an empty string. So we need to use another stack for the stars. Since as we have discussed, position matters at most in this question. So instead of storing the characters, we need to store their positions in the stack. Now let's try to understand our approach by taking an example. As we iterate over the string, what we would do is that we would push the star position in the star stack, and whenever we come across the opening bracket, we would push its position in the bracket stack. For the closing bracket, whenever it would occur, we will check the bracket stack, and if it's not empty, then we will pop the element from the bracket stack. But if the bracket stack is empty, we will push the closing bracket position into the bracket stack, as the closing bracket can be balanced by the star which are occurring before that closing bracket. So I hope that now approach is clear. Now before moving to the code part, let's try to understand this example more clearly by implementing it on this whiteboard. Now as we iterate over the string, we come across the star. So as we have discussed, we would store the position of the star in star stack. I am assuming that the position starts from 1. You can assume that it starts from 0. It would also work fine. Now as we move further, we come across the opening bracket, so we would store its position in the bracket stack. As we move further, now again we come across the opening bracket, so we would store its position in the bracket stack. Now as we move further, we come across the closing bracket, and since the stack is not empty, we will pop out the element from the stack. Now we have popped the element, and as we move further, we again come across the star, so we would store the star position. Now as we move further, we come across the closing bracket, and since the bracket stack is not empty, we would pop out the element from the bracket stack. Now we have popped the element from the bracket stack, and as we move further, we come across the closing bracket, and since the bracket stack is empty, we would store the position of closing bracket in bracket stack. And now since after the iteration of the whole string, we are left with 7 in the bracket stack and 1 and 5 in the star stack, it means that we are left with one unbalanced closed string, and also we are left with star at first and fifth position, which can balance the closing bracket. So the star at the fifth position can now act as the opening bracket and can balance the closing bracket. So we will pop out the element from both the star stack and the bracket stack. And since now the bracket stack is empty, it means that our string is balanced, and ultimately what we have to return is true. That is, our string could be made balanced, and what we have to return is that our string is valid. Now let's move to the code part. First of all, we have stored the length of the string in length variable. If the length is 0 or if our string is null, we should return true as it is already balanced. If the length of the string is 1 and if the only character present in the string is closing bracket or opening bracket, we should return false. Why we have written false? As we cannot balance it by performing any operations. As we have discussed, we would make two stacks, brack and star, which would store the positions of star and brackets respectively. Now we iterate over the whole string from I equals to 0 to I equals to length minus 1. We stored the character at ith position in temp variable. If the temp variable is open bracket, we would push its position in the bracket stack, and if the temp variable is closing bracket, we would perform some other checks like if the bracket stack is empty and the star stack is empty, we should return false as we cannot balance. If the star stack is not empty, we should check that the star must occur before the position of the closing bracket, and if it is not so, we should return again false. Now whenever we encounter the star, we would push it into the star stack. Now when we have iterated the whole string, we would check that if our bracket stack is empty. If it is empty, then we would return true. It means that our whole string has been balanced. Else, if the bracket stack is not empty and if the star stack is empty, we would return false as we have nothing to balance our brackets. If both the stacks are not empty, we would perform some other checks like if the size of the bracket stack is more than the star stack, then we should again return false as we have less number of stars than what is needed to balance our brackets. Now if the unbalanced character in the bracket stack is opening bracket, now to balance it, the star must occur after the opening bracket. We perform this check by star.pick should be greater than the brack.pick, that is, a star must occur after the bracket. Then we would pop both the bracket and the star from their respective stacks. And if the topmost element present in the bracket stack is closing bracket, then we look into the star stack, and to balance that closing bracket, the star must occur before the closing bracket. If it is not so, we would return false. And after the whole traversal, at last we would check that whether our bracket stack has become empty or not. If it is not empty, it means that our string is not valid. If it is empty, it means that our string is valid. Now let's try to run our code. Yeah, it works. Now let's try to submit our code. Yes, it works fine. So what is the time complexity of our program? It is big O of n. as we are just traversing the string once. What is the space complexity of our program? It is big of n, as we are just using two stacks which are taking the space big of n and big of n, which is respectively of the order of degree n. As usual, the code link for the code in C++ and Java would be in the description. So if you like the video, please press the like button and please subscribe to my channel.